Taco shows, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The highlights and, unfortunately, the lowlights that stood out this past week in the vast sea we call humanity.
And thank you for rocking on the job with 101.1 WJRR. Two more chances today, final two chances to win flyaways to Los Angeles for our sold-out Alter Ego show a couple weeks down the road. Right around 9:25. Keyword for you to text to 200-200 will be heard during this show. And then this afternoon, Taco?
Later on with Chumley. That first one during our show probably happened right after the meat report, I'm guessing.
That's an accurate statement, a true statement, Taco.
You get a keyword, which we'll give you, and we'll remind you about this, and then you text it off to 200-200. You and a guest winning a free trip out there.
All right, let's sift through the bad stack and then end on a high note with the Good News Network, where you poach headlines and go very shallow as far as details, but do emphasize things with your patented pals. And then we'll just we can get everything flushed here.
Hey, the headlines make you smile.
All right, heightened security across Seminole County Public Schools today after two code reds yesterday, based on a phoned-in threat to Lake Brantley High School and also nearby Forest City Elementary. This happened just before dismissal on Thursday, caused quite the ruckus in that part of Altamont Springs in Seminole County. Schools put on lockdown. Nobody really knew what was going on. They were pretty sure it was a hoax and eventually released the students. But that said, I guess there's some cause for concern, and out of an abundance of caution, and rightfully so, they'll be really stepping things up today. Folks who do stuff like this you're sick.
Yeah, hopefully they catch them.
You're sick. Speaking of sick, this just in Ocala, this guy who's out gardening in his yard,
and he gets blown away.
Dead. Random act of violence by some clown. They believe the suspect is 29-year-old Isaac Ezekiel Toye. I guess he shot this guy. He's dead. And he shot another person just wandering around.
The guy Isaac looks a little bit, well, obviously he's whacked out, but he looks the wacky look.
Brevard County, suspect has finally been arrested after a woman reported a sexual attack earlier this week. According to the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, deputies said the incident happened this past Monday when they received a call about a woman banging on a neighbor's door begging for help. The woman told police that while she was moving out of her residence, she had noticed some creep lurking around. And the day that she was actually moving out, he rushed her apartment, held her at knife point, and then forced himself on her. Suspect has been arrested and identified as Kelvin Johnson.
Garbage.
I'm sure you have all seen the video now from Flagler County. The registered sex offender who had kidnapped the 11-year-old and tied him up, forced him to drink alcohol and smoke weed and have his...
we know.
The New Year's Eve. That's Darnell Hairston, 60 years old.
He'll get his.
Florida Home Health Aide stealing money from her elderly clients. This in Bunnell. Katie Swain was there when the theft happened, investigating this after a senior at Harbor Chase of Palm Coast reported unauthorized bank transactions, missing cash, and a missing debit card. Investigators found a pattern in unauthorized purchases, mostly in Putnam County, where Swain lives. The victim's debit card had $664 in fraud. Cash was stolen. They went and bought gas and groceries and snacks because, of course, this old person in the home doesn't need any of that stuff.
No. What have we always said? You don't mess with kids, women, or the elderly. Shouldn't mess with anybody. Let me verify that.
All right, everybody hop in the bowl and say bye-bye. Thank you, Taco Bob House Power Flusher.
Feels good when you power flush, doesn't it?
There's no muss, no fuss, and it's gone. It's out to sea.
The only thing that feels better is when you go to the Good News Network first time in 2026. We have a naughty golden retriever. It was rescued after it fell through a frozen pond. Guess what the owner said? No bones for a month. Bad pal. This is pretty cool, man.
A bad pal.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. He's just being a curious dog. So, pal. Montana program makes youth offenders talk to their victims. And the amount of recidivism or whatever it is plummeted. That's pretty cool, And then they both learn from it.
I suppose it probably depends on what the crime was, too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain that's probably not happening in certain instances.
I think once they have to face the people,
relive your trauma.
I think, though, once the person who did it, they feel bad deep down, and then they have to relive it, too. So, yeah. So I think it's a cool program. It's working. Pal! 100 miles of derelict fence. What? Is this fence that keeps out derelicts? 100 miles of derelict fencing was removed by rewilders across the Great Plains of Montana. More Montana news, man. You're all over the place, Montana. Pow! Wow.
I don't know what any of that meant, but okay.
There's some derelict fence they have to keep the derelicts out of the pasture, and they fixed it, I'm guessing. No, New York City had
somebody who's 10% rancher undoubtedly will clear that up.
Oh, definitely. Montana, some person who watches Yellowstone's going to hit me up. New York City had this is good news, the lowest number of shootings in its history last year in New York City. Don't worry, Detroit made up for it. Pow! This is cool. It's Zoo Tampa. I didn't even know it exists. We used to be on the air in Tampa. But Zoo Tampa released 26 rehabilitated manatees back into the Florida waters. Wow, the most ever on record. Good job, Zoo Tampa. Pow! Watch out for the boats, big guys. And then this one. Who cares?
Did you see the Brevard numbers for dead manatee? Hey, man, careful on the boats in Brevard.
Yeah, 100%. And not only Brevard, in all waters. There's nothing sadder. Where I was fishing one time and rode up, and there it is, manatee floating. Father saves 10 from a bar fire at a Swiss New Year's Eve party. Got a frantic call from his daughter. He rushed into action. There was a bar fire happening. Bar fire out. Father saves all. Pow, Dad!
He brought his kids to the bar?
No, the kid was at the bar, but a kid can be 30. Guess how many rhinos were poached in India's stronghold for the second year on record?
3.
India's been cracking down on the 0. No rhinos poached. They all got their horns still.
And Espanol, saddle,
see.
I'm doing Rosanna Stetta. What is it called?
No, it's Rosetta Stone, and Roseanne's the... Anyway, we had a rescue dog. Guess what he did? He led 19 Buddhist monks on a 2,300-mile peace walk across the U.S. Hopefully all that works out and will be peaceful.
You can open one hand.
Yeah, that dog must be tired. Pow! Not to mention the monks. And then we have a tiny baby who was born. This baby is so small that its hand is smaller than a fingertip. Right? You look at it and look at this. This is insane. Watch out. Look at that little right there.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. So anyway, it's developing normally. Okay. Yeah. All the incubation and stuff that they do. Pow, little guy and or girl. And I think we're going to end on that. That's a positive note.
Hey, sure. Okay, thank you, Taco.
It was either that or we're going to be talking about salmon in English rivers, and not affected by that.
Lynch and Tacos, commercial-free workday rock block.
One more. Brother, sister spring into action, just like the guy in the bar fire. Well, these guys saved their school bus driver from medical emergency. Pow and pow to both of you. Good job, y'all.
Yeah, that rock block coming up at 8. Stand by.
You're one. 1011
WJRR.
Orlando's rock station.